Hey, what's going on, MGTOW community? This is Vladimir Sauce, aka the Hot Pepper Pill. I'm sorry I've been away from making videos for a little while, but I'm back. I've recently moved from my old shitty apartment into a new place that is so much better, better environment for making videos, gets my head more into thinking about topics and ideas, and so I just wanted to let you know, don't worry, I'm back. I'm going to be making a whole bunch more content. I actually have a ton of videos in my backlog on my phone that I've made. I've just been too lazy to put pictures to them and get them up on YouTube, but keep an eye out for them as well. So that being said, I'm back, and let's get right into our topic of today, which basically a lot of MGTOW content producers kind of postulate the phrase that women are evil. And can somebody really be evil if it's a biologically driven response to reproduction and procreation? I was thinking about different animals, in particular rams or antelope, in particular hooved animals with horns that use their strength to charge at one another to maim, injure, or kill their competition in which to successfully mate. And the woman antelope or ram, goat, whatever you, just is totally fine with that. That's expected of the male goat to sacrifice himself and to, kill himself to prove that he is the tougher, more elite, more alpha goat by doing this ritual. And how did that happen? It didn't just, the goats didn't sit around one day and come up with a plan to attack and maim and injure each other in this sort of way by charging. It's just that's how they're able to prove maybe territorial debates, get the woman to procreate with them, to pass on their lineage, their genes, and keep the species alive. And that got me thinking about us as human beings and what kind of things that we do. You notice a lot of times manginas, white knights, blue pillars, what have you, they will shame, attack, yell at other men to get them into submission. They'll use their power to get men back into their place, to get back on the plantation, to settle down, and to pick a person that may not be the right choice. Let's face it, getting married in this day and age is never the right choice. But, you better be damn sure that it's the right person. And instead of attacking your brothers like how these goats do, if they were able to put their differences aside, be like, hey, look, why are we killing each other over these bitches? They'd be a lot better off. They wouldn't be injured. It wouldn't result in more violent behavior, because if you think about it, the woman goat is only going to pick the male goat that survives this confrontation. The person that's injured or maimed, stabbed, bleeding, the goat, antelope, whatever, may be kicked out of the herd because they were too weak. They may be shamed into another herd or left to die, not access to the vagina of the female. They can't procreate, they can't pass on their genes, and this just continues on and on until men are more violent than ever and women are more picky and choosy than ever and demanding that these creatures fight and die for access to the golden vagina. So I think there's a lot of evidence that points to biologically animals and us as human beings were very similar. There's a lot of behaviors that can be observed in animals that human beings possess. Women wanting to extract resources. There's a meme or a joke on Facebook about like, hey, if I pulled up to your house in this car and some piece of shit Mercury Sable or something from like 95, would you still go out with me or would you cancel the date? And that meme highlights, and illustrates perfectly hypergamy in women, in that they won't go with somebody unless they're seen as that potential good mate. They're always looking to trade up. I've been in a relationship myself with a person I thought was a Nawalt, and as a lot of content producers have said, as soon as she started making more income than I had been making, she was looking to trade up. She lost a little bit of weight, felt like she was getting more attention from other men. It guarantees her some more time in the carousel for a little bit longer. And it's just probably the same with animals. These particular group of animals fight and kill each other for reproductive access, and it kind of brings back the question: are women evil? Are the female goats and antelopes and rams evil for wanting their men to sacrifice themselves to choose the strongest, the one that's going to provide the most for them, keep them safe, seemingly, and it's just a biologically driven response. So I kind of want to know what you guys think. Is this, action necessarily evil, or is it just, really biology? And without us striving to compete to get this reproduction, to get the procreation done, get the sperm to meet the egg, if we didn't fight and compete for these resources, I personally feel like mankind would be a lot better. There'd be a lot less of these people shaming and degrading other men for engaging in different behavior and being a different type of person. Maybe, hey, this kid's a gamer. Oh, he's a geek. He programs computers. Oh, he's a nerd. Oh, he doesn't have a whole lot of friends. He's a loner. He can't get laid. He's isolated. He's a loser. If we didn't have these ways of segmenting and corralling the population into different groups, seemingly just for procreation, I think we'd be a lot better off. We'd be able to put our petty differences aside and get some shit done as men. And that's kind of hope for the artificial womb being in the future, where you don't even have to deal with these bitches. And, we don't have to compromise anything. I've mentioned this to my good friend and roommate, who I mentioned briefly in I think the second video that I'd made. I told him, it's like, what more could I want? Obviously, if there was that perfect Nawalt out there, that pink unicorn, that golden fluffy plush dragon type woman that I'm looking for, that everybody's chasing to find, of course that'd be the ideal scenario, but they just don't exist. And what more could I want than a camaraderie of brotherhood, to where this man would bend over backwards for me, do anything for me, I would do anything for him, where, we are like the definition of brothers, even though we came from separate parents. And I've had friendship with this guy for my entire adult life, I guess, whatever, if you count 7th grade and on, we've been really close. Aside from relationships that seem to kind of break up the time that we had to hang out and chill, as my ex didn't want him around. But that's kind of going off on a tangent, and I digress here. It's just, I want to know, in your opinion, is this behavior as a biological mechanism? Is this does this help the human race, or does this deter us from our true potential, and that we're constantly looking to criticize and bring down other men, to shame them back to the plantation, rather than transcend our sexual desires and see the value of each man and person as an individual and what they bring to the table, rather than how we can segment them. So thanks again for listening, guys. I'm so glad to be back, and let me know what you think. If you want to hear any other particular topics addressed, keep your eyes open. Thank you so much, and it's always a pleasure to talk with you. This is Vladimir Sauce, the Hot Pepper Pill. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Peace out.